So today I would like to talk to you about what you want to do if you decide you want to purchase a recreational vehicle. A lot of people don't think about this, but it is something you should do because it will save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of headaches if you do it. There basically are just a few types of RVs. There are those that you drive. There are those that pull a car, tow a car. There are those that a car tows. And there are those that actually sit partially on top of a tow vehicle. They all sound simple. Many people think they're basically the same. What's the same about recreational vehicles is that they basically are used for traveling, for living, for general recreational purposes and so forth. But there are big differences between them, and in this video I want to point some of them out to you. The first one I want to talk about is something called a hybrid trailer. The word trailer indicates, obviously, that you would pull it with a vehicle. Hybrid means that it's composed of two different parts. The walls of the trailer are either solid or they're not, and so they're a combination of the two. People use these, for example, to travel with, but when they want to have more room, the soft-sided portions often slide out. So for example, you would have a bed that slides out, such as you would have in a pop-up camper. Except it's not exactly a pop-up camper, it's a trailer. A pop-up is generally all soft-sided, so that's a different type. Some of the pop-outs have slide rooms that also pop out, so that creates some interesting situations. The next one I want to talk about is one of the most popular, and that's a pool trailer. Pool trailers come in a variety of sizes. All are towed by another sort of vehicle, a truck, a van, a car. They have to be hooked up with special equipment. One of the nice things about them is that they're very easy to get into and out of. One of the bad things about them is if it's raining outside and you have to leave, you got to go outside and hook it up so that you can get out, so you're going to get wet. Truck campers are the ones I was referring to that sit inside the bed of the truck, basically, and over top of the roof of the truck. You've seen them on the road, I'm sure. These are a little tricky. You have to be very careful when buying them. They come in different sizes and weights. The problem with them is you have to match them exactly with the truck that you're using to haul them, because if you do not, if they are too heavy, for example, which can happen very easily, it can cause accidents. It can make driving more difficult. It can lead to rollovers and things like that. So you want to really think about that one. They have some very good benefits, though. We had one. We went all over the place with it, and it was great. We loved it. But it just got to be too small. They're very small inside. No matter how big they make them sound in the ads and how big they look when you go to shop for them, there really isn't a lot of space in them. So if you're gonna use them for long distance travel, people do it, but it may not be the best choice. A van conversion is another type of RV. It falls into the category of small motorhome. This is a vehicle that drives itself. You do not need to tow a car with it. They are also very nice inside, but they're very small. And again, they're not something that I personally would choose for, to go for a month or 2 months or 5 months. They're just not big enough. The showers are small, the sinks are small, there's little room for storage of clothing and so forth. But they are easy to drive because they're not much bigger than a car. So there's that one. Then you go into regular motorhomes, and there are several different types of those. The Class A is the one that most people, or many people, aspire to have because they are, even the smaller ones are spacious inside, excuse me, and have, if they're laid out right, have plenty of room for storage. The thing with those that you need to be careful of is, one, you need to be a pretty good driver to drive one of those because they are big and they are bulky and they take up a lot of room on the road. Parking them can be difficult. So there's some downsides, but the good side to them is that if you're going to be in one place for a while, they're just like having an apartment on wheels. So, and the other one I want to talk about is a Toder Home. A Toder Home is a big, kind of like a fifth wheel, but it has a truck engine, a commercial sized truck engine to haul it because it's very heavy. And again, they're big, they're bulky. They hold all kinds of things in them. They have garages and patios and things that you wouldn't see in a smaller RV. But you got to make sure you know how to drive it. And finally, excuse me, I have some laryngitis tonight, so this is a little tricky for me. A toy hauler is similar to a toter home. People who drive motorcycles and carry bicycles with them and those types of things, they like to have something that is big enough to put all that stuff into and or put their car into. Some of those have garages. They call them garages. They have room in the back that's big enough to put your the vehicle that you're going to travel with when you go. Now, some of these RVs don't need to tow vehicles, and some do. You need to look into that when you're looking and decide whether you want to fool with that or not. If you're going to tow a vehicle, then you have to have an RV that will get the job done and make sure that you're properly weight rated. And whoever sells you your coach can tell you how to do this. Now, the next thing you need to do, now that you know some different types of RVs, is think about what you're going to use your vehicle for. Are you just going to do a weekend fishing trip once in a while? Are you going to be a cross-country traveler, long-term trips? Are you going to live in your coach? What are you going to do? That's worth thinking about, and that's going to be another video. See you then.